Okay, you're at AutoSport in Indiana, Pennsylvania, and today we're going to present to you a 1968 Plymouth GTX. This car has a lot of originality to it. We're going to point everything out to you and show you everything on this car that we possibly can. Starting at this corner in the front. The paint on this thing is just exemplary. It's straight as an arrow everywhere. It has a nice luster, a nice sheen to it. See the gaps on both sides of the hood are just as nice and linear as can be, clean up to the cowl area. The grille doesn't have any windows broken out of it or anything. GTX designation in the front the way it should be. All your anodized, the trim around the grille. There's a mark here, stone chip. A lot of this is original, 90% of it actually. Chrome on the front bumper is nice and lustrous. Parking lights. That one's faded, probably an original one and sat in the sun or something. This one here appears to be replaced at some point of its life. But again, a lot of this is all original. A little bit of patina on this anodized trim around the headlight buckets. Driver's side of the car, side marker light, 68 only. Little circles down there, and they are functional and just as nice and clean as can be. 440 designation on the side of the hood. Wheel lip moldings, nice and crisp everywhere. Gap around the front fender onto the door, clean up to the window. Also the correct wiper arms and blades for this guy. These appear to be correct also. The vinyl top doesn't appear to have ever been replaced in its entirety, you know. It's just as nice as can possibly be. This usually has a lot of patina on it, this chrome area around the wing. This one has a little tiny bit. You're not going to see it in the video or in the resolution photos that Alex is going to show you, but it is there, and I'm telling you it's there. Remote mirror, driver's side only. Again, you can see the reflective striping going down the side, but look at the door gaps on this guy. This is just as nice as it can possibly be. Look at this. Everything fits. Windows the same way. All your rubbers are, I believe, still original, but believe it or not, they don't need to be replaced. Your window wipes are the same way. The whiskers, original and don't need to be replaced. Door handle, I'm going to say, has been replaced at some point of its life. Going down the quarter panel, again, GTX designation on the side. Rocker panel moldings aren't knocked up or dented up or anything. It's just really in nice condition. Trim around the back window. When you look down on the hatch shelf, rack, tray, whatever you want to call it, it has a little bit of sun fade in it, so it has originality to it. Correct speaker vents the way they came from the factory. And all this, the roof, the vinyl top is not shrunk up at all, absolutely none. All the trim around the back light, the same as it was in the front, is not marked up or dented up in any way. Quarter panels, nice and tight quarters on it. No marks on the fender lip molding. Side marker light, red of course in the back. Nice sharp fenders. Going around the back of the car. Again, you have to see the paint on this car. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely very lustrous, and everything lines up as it should. The trunk is the same as the hood. You can see the gaps the whole way around. This guy is just as fresh and clean as can be, just the way it was from the factory. Chrome on the back bumper. No patina whatsoever. This still has originality to it, and it does have a little bit of patina here and there, but it is the original back panel that came on these cars, which are almost impossible to get. I mean, they're very, very rare to find a good one. Exhaust tips are similar to what came in 68, but not absolutely correct. We're going to open the trunk and show you what we got inside here. Oh, come on. There we go. Original jacking instructions still inside here. This is original paint under here. This has not been redone from when it was new. You can look inside, you can see the fibrous sound deadener. People call it undercoating. It isn't. It's a fibrous sound deadener that Chrysler put on in that era. And you can see the trunk is all original tin. And there's no deterioration whatsoever on it. And again, you can see the fibrous, people call it undercoating, but it's actually a sound deadener that was installed new at the factory. Nice car. Trunk closes just like it should. The paint's absolutely gorgeous on this car. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, down the passenger side, side marker light. Back window, the same thing. You can see there's a little bit of a sun fade on it, but that's originality. That rack has never been replaced, nor was the back seat ever recovered. Trim around the window on this side, the same as it was on the other. Fender lips, side marker, fender lip moldings, just as straight as can be. Again, look at the windows on this. Look at the alignment on these windows. They close just like it should. When do you see a car close like that? Fantastic setup. Tiny little mark there. I don't know if that'll come out or not. It looks like a little tiny scratch. Certainly nothing that would indicate that you would have to refinish anything. Dash, everything on the dashboard is all original. The paint, the vents that are usually deteriorated, these are still in very good condition. And trim around the window, the rubbers around the windshield. It is a tinted windshield too, by the way. Correct radio mast. Door gaps, just absolutely as flawless and perfect as you can get them, same as it was on the driver's side. Going up this side of it, fender lip molding the same way. Does have a set of Magnum 500s on it. They're 15-inch. It's got drums in the front, drums in the back, obviously. Got a huge set of sneakers in the back of this thing. I don't know what size they are, but they're definitely a fairly large tire on a, appears to be about an 8-inch wheel in the back. These would be 7s in the front. So we're gonna get under the hood here and show you what we can there. Okay, this is not a numbers correct engine, absolutely not. It does have the correct exhaust manifolds on them, cast iron, just the way they came from the factory. It's a 440, obviously. It has an aluminum radiator, appears to be, looks like it's a 4-pass. It does have a set of dual fans on it that are hooked up. Overflow reservoir over here. The power steering, it does have power steering on it. Fender tag is complete and intact and very legible, very nice. Usually these guys are deteriorated some. This one is not. The air cleaner is not correct for the car. It does have a set of aftermarket Mopar valve pan covers on it. Let's see here. It has an MSD ignition system on it. It does have an Edlebrock torque manifold on it, which is probably the best manifold you can put on one of these guys. Has a Carter AVS or AFB, I can't really tell with the lid on. It nice looking car though, I think. Does have the number stamped in the core support, so this guy's never been subjected to any type of trauma through the years. And again, it does have a fender tag. Also, the VIN on the dashboard is correct and legible, and has the correct 6-sided rivets on it. This car is a very nice car. It presents itself very well. Again, it's not a numbers matching engine. It does have an aluminum water pump on it, however, a Mopar water pump. I can't imagine you could find a nicer one in more original condition than this guy is. It has a lot of originality to it. We're going to show you a quick inside of it too. But the car underneath, and Alex is going to show you a lot of high resolution photography that you can go in and zoom in and see everything. But this guy has all the original sound deadener, undercoating, whatever you want to call it, that was installed at the factory in 1968. This is a really, really well-preserved car. We didn't find any paint blisters or anything on it anywhere. The paint, like I said, is exemplary. There's nothing that you can fault it for paint-wise or fit and finish. It's a nice example of a 68 Plymouth GTX, and it is a real GTX. Just not the correct numbers matching engine, but it is a 440. Has a lot of character on the inside. The door panels are just as fresh and clean as can be. Wood grain steering wheel on it. Console, buckets, of course, GTX, and the automatic on the console. You had your choice in 68. You could get the cushion between the seats, or you could get the console. If you got the cushion, you got the shifter on the dashboard and on the steering column, and if not, you got the buckets, which is a preferential way of having the car. This is all original too. You can see inside the car the quarters have never been replaced on it. The door sills are the original ones that came from Mopar. The seat belts are a full complement of a front and rear, and also has the shoulder belts on it too. Has an old Sun Super Tack and the steering column there. Original carpeting in it. From what I can tell, it's not been replaced. This car has a lot of originality to it. It's a nice car that you can take. I used the car for, I don't know, probably two and a half weeks. I drove it everywhere, and I don't think you can find a nicer running car. The car just presents itself very well. Goes down the road, you can drive it anywhere you want to go with it. It's a car that is just dependable. Not overly cammed. It does have an aftermarket cam in it. You can tell there's a little bit of lopiness to it, but just a fantastic representation of a 68 Plymouth GTX. Take a look at this one if you're in the market for early Mopar, because this is one that got a great color combination. It's got a lot of amenities to it, and whoever buys this car is going to be very, very happy with it. Start up. Steering in it. Usually these things are a little loose. This one is not. Let's go down the road. Can't really tell what the ratio is in the rear end. It seems like it feels like it's more like a 355, but don't really know. But it's definitely a Posi rear end. We just laid down 2 black marks, so we know it's Posi-Traction.
Do have the original owner's manual here.
Yeah, we got the original owner's manual that goes with it. You even got a little paperwork for the ping pong radio that is installed underneath the dash. And I think it does work. Of course, the one in the dash